Hello everybody, welcome to another rapid speedrun game against Slender Mortal, rated 1201. So we crossed, or at least we're facing 1200 level opposition. Let's see how they respond to the Scotch Gambit. They'll most likely continue with what the other players were doing at the lower rating with just the D6 Philidor setup, giving us easy game. But every so often, I mean, they're going to also take for sure. So let's see what he chooses. Let us see what Slender Mortal. Maybe he's on a diet. This caught him off guard. We are threatening his pawn, so he should not just develop casually. Even though it counterattacks, he shouldn't do that. So he takes the pawn, and we do get to go into the Scotch Gambit. So maybe we get to see some of the thematic lines that you'll often get, between 1300 and 1600. Regular developing moves where they bring their knight or bishop out. See, this is not a regular move. This is a weird move that hangs the knight. And then he brings his queen out. Oh man. I'm going to develop my queen with crazy threats. We're up a piece, we win the game. He's 1200 and hangs a knight on move 5. So he moves the pawn because he doesn't want my queen to get in. But his queen might be trapped. He could go here, which is awkward. In any case, let's just go here and hit the rook. Maybe he'll resign. You know what? I'm going to offer him a draw, and then I'm going to take his rook. He takes the draw. I don't want to waste your guys' time with an entire game just up a piece on move 5. So we're going to play the Sicilian, and now maybe we get a Kalashnikov. Will he play d4? No, he plays a fianchetto system. Fine. So this doesn't affect the center immediately. So we get to do what we want. I'm going to go for the setup we've been going for. If they don't play d4, we're going to put these two pawns here and try this structure. So now he develops the bishop. I'm going to develop the knight with a threat on the pawn in the center. He protects it and opens up his own bishop. Our bishop isn't going to go anywhere, so we might as well develop it here so we can castle. He plays a pawn move, which is not a developing move, so I'm going to castle. Now he castles. We have the option of leaving the position more closed so his bishop doesn't have access, but we can also play in the center and open it up if we want. Here, takes. Okay, I mean, you could do either one. You could play d6 or d5. I'm going to play d5 and open the position up. So he takes, and now he has play as well as us. Just an equal game. We'll get our bishop to e6. Maybe we'll get our rooks in the game. So he develops his bishop and goes for a trade, but this is kind of my limited, restricted bishop, hemmed in by my pawns. And that's his supposed good bishop with the free mobility. So I don't mind taking that. The other drawback is it's only defended once. However, he is eyeing our knight. So if we take it, and he takes it, and we take it, he can take our knight in the center, which is fine. We still get the dark square bishop trade. We could also try to just limit him by playing f6 and keep more pieces on the board and say, hey, you have to go back. We could also take and then not take the knight and leave our knight in the center and just kick the knight. I like that as well. I'm going to take the bishop as opposed to f6, which also looked pretty good. Now I'm not going to go for his knight because I don't see what my queen is doing there. No reason to trade this weird knight for my central knight. So I'm going to make room for my king for the future with tempo on the knight. He'll go either to the center, risking a f5 pawn push, or back in front of the bishop. So he goes in the center, giving us an f5 pawn push maybe later. For now, he's attacking our pawn. But he also blocks his bishop. So give and take. Because he's blocking his bishop, I'm going to play b6. Even though you weaken the squares a little bit, his bishop can't immediately use it. Okay, so now he tries to use it. And you can support with either minor piece. You know, a move like bishop e6. A move like knight e7. Stuff like that. Also, you can take the knight because he's doing weird stuff. And you're hitting his queen, so he doesn't have time to take your knight. So if you take and he takes, you can counter fianchetto, right? Something like that. Just an equal game. What else can you do? Bishop to the center is fine as well. If you do defend with the knight, it's like... I don't know. I'm just going to take his knight that he moved from here to here to here to here. And then I'm just going to fianchetto. And I'm going to keep life simple. And I'm going to go queen c7. I'm going to put my rooks in the center. And I'm just going to play with a harmonious setup. It's not winning, you know, but it's the opening. You're not supposed to be winning in the opening. So he moves his knight, but he doesn't coordinate with his bishop. He goes to the dark squares, which doesn't coordinate with anything. So it's a weird move. I'm going to play the free improving move, a6, kicking it back. So now he goes away. Now I'm going to play queen c7, so I can defend my bishop as well as the center. And now I can move my knight into the center, and we can trade bishops. I don't have to worry about mine hanging. So he goes here, which pressures the b pawn and the center. But I feel like he just keeps letting me kick it. So now b5 I'm going to play. He can't go to the side. He can't go forward. He's going to go backwards and try to reroute it again. But he just loves moving his knights. In any case, I think now it's time to jump our knight in. Offer the trade of bishops. Activate our piece. And we just have some more space, but it's not so significant. Okay, so materials even. He has a, an intact pawn structure, a safe king, relatively. I said relatively because he has some weak light squares that he just got rid of his bishop. So does this check do anything? He has to walk directly into a discovery. So now check, he walks into a discovery. What's gonna do with my knight there? I can go check and take the exchange at the least. So he played a really good game, 19 moves in, 18 moves. Kudos to our 1100 rated opponent. But now, to have a better discovery, there's this check, but you never have mate because the knights are anyways. But so let's give this check. He blocks with the knight, so let's pick up the rook. And now let's improve our queen. We don't want it all the way back here. We want it all the way up here, pressuring his entire position in a severe way. It's an extremely active piece. So maybe he's trying to push the pawn, but we have a lot of pressure. Also, it's time for us to bring our rooks in. Down the semi-open file, pressuring his pawn. He unpins his knight by moving his king, but we're up a piece. His rook is X-ray attacked, so we have time to attack the center and break it down. So we have an avenue to let our rooks in. So he pushes past, because if he takes, he loses a rook. But we can break it down. Let's take. If he takes with the pawn, we get the C pawn 3-on-2, which is a win condition. So you can easily trade everything. Also, we now can just bring in our other rook with mega threats. But first he hits our queen, so we don't want to hang our queen. So let's infiltrate with our queen, since that offers a trade. Up the exchange, up the positional win, because we have a 3-on-2 potential pass C pawn. And he has an isolated weakness, easily attacked on the D file. The game is over. So he trades, but now we have threats and extreme activity. And knights don't really compare to rooks in an endgame. So we can take free stuff. We're up 3 points of material. Okay, he pushes the pawn. I'm just going to take free stuff. We have 3 connected pass pawns. That's just crazy. Now all we need to do is trade. So let's bring our rook back around. Actually, we can kick this knight off its post and get our rook here, kind of. So what I'm saying is, we mess with this knight so we can just put our rook here. He's going to attack stuff. I mean, wait, so here, here. Here, here, here. Wait a second. So here, here. Wait a second. Yeah. Okay. So he's going to hit me. A what? Why wouldn't he hit me? He's trying to stop this, but that's not going to work. So I had a plan to attack his knight. He pushes, I take the knight. He queens, I take it. I'm up, you know, the entire win right here. He goes back, but now I get to do this, which is what I was going to do. My whole plan was with this rook lift. I'll show you what I intended to do after the game on knight hitting our rook. Even if you give your rook up, you still should be fine, because these pawns are just so strong. Okay, so now he doesn't have a pawn. His knight is trapped. That's why they say a knight on the rim is dim. Or grim. They say both. And he'll resign. Or not. He's going to play on for some reason. I'm just going to stop everything he's doing to demoralize him. Because even if they're completely losing, if they can take a pawn and they hear the sound on the computer, they will keep doing it, keep playing. So this is obviously winning. If you guys cannot win this, then maybe checkers is for you. The best thing to do is to get 2 queens. First, let me just cut his king off. And then we could checkmate him like that. So let's go over the game. So he played well for a long time. We get a Sicilian. We develop a knight to the center. And now we clamp down so he can never play d4 if we want. But we develop a piece with a threat for free. And now we develop and prepare king safety. And now king safety. Equal game, no problems. He castles and we play d5. Curious what the best move is. Okay, so d5 and d6 are the top two, but d5 is a little better. Although it might be harder to play for a lot of people in an open position like that. Although closed positions are hard in their own way. So we have one mistake, bringing us to 94. And he has an 89%, so he did play well. Especially for an 1100. So he takes the pawn, force move. And then apparently this is a blunder, but I missed it. And which was my one mistake. I take it. He takes it. Now for maximum advantage, I'm supposed to take this. He's supposed to take this. Oh, I totally forgot his pawn's hanging on the edge. Oh man, what an obvious move too. I was just looking at queen moves to see if I had a cool queen move. I didn't even look at the other pieces. Is that it? Let me just see. Yeah, it's obviously it. And then you just win. It's just automatically winning because his king cover's blown. Yeah, that was an obvious miss. Whoops. We're still -1, but we would have just won the game on the spot. So instead of having just a better position, we would have won. And it was obvious, so we all miss it, right? So now it's our turn. We defend, we'll say force move. And now we're trading to simplify into a position where we have a counter fianchetto. So it's not really for an advantage, it's just so we have a harmonious position where everything's going to look really nice and we'll have an easy game and we'll just play. I wasn't expecting it to be winning at this point anyway. It even says we're -1. I wasn't even sure if we were that high up or if it was like -0.5. But it says we're -1, which is really good. So a6, just kicking the knight away, free improving move, and now developing a piece and defending, and now we are -0.5. So it is what I thought, because apparently there might have been better engine lines. Improving move for free and restricting his piece. Now improving a piece. And it's not for free, it's just with the idea of trading in mind. And this is his king's like most important defender, so it's kind of for free because if we can get the trade, that softens his king a little bit. Although it's not any type of winning advantage. So he takes for no reason when he shouldn't, because now we get our queen there, and now he needs to cover the light squares. That's why the engine's saying he needs to play f3 to make sure that I can't use this coordination. So it's -1.4. I have more space and an active queen, active knight. But then he blunders, this tactic, which wins the exchange. So really good game by us, except for one extremely obvious miss. Guys, this tactic is super easy. I even went down the line. I even said this, and didn't bother going any further. But if you just look one more move, that's super obvious. See, your games can be a lot easier if you don't miss stuff. That's why I recommend don't talk during your games. I mean, that's not true. You could try to talk to yourself out loud to flesh out your thought process, but then you need to play longer games for sure. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Good luck in your chess.